Hello, my name is Derek. I'm going to be recording a patient interview with my brother Dawson. On the right over here are medical forms I had him fill out. Right here is information I got from those medical forms and some questions I'm going to ask him. So I'll call him right now and hopefully you enjoy the interview. Hey Dawson, how's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. My name's Derek. I'm a student physical therapist working under Dr. Purcell today. According to the screening you filled out, it looks like you've got some left shoulder pain. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Can you explain kind of what that pain feels like more to me?
It kind of comes and goes. It doesn't really bother me a whole lot now, but there'll be moments when it is really sharp
Mm,
for a few minutes and then it goes away. And then there'll be other moments too when it aches for prolonged periods of time,
mm,
like a few hours kind of thing,
mm.
and then goes away.
Gotcha. So how long have you been suffering from this pain from? Is it pretty recent or has it been going on for a while?
About 5 or 6 years, I'd say.
Gotcha. Was there an instance about 5 or 6 years ago that you remember just started hurting, or has it been kind of just a build up over time?
Yeah, it's a baseball injury I had. Um, I was just pitching one day, and then it kind of one the one pitch was good, and then the next one was not so good, and my arm just really started to hurt after that. It almost felt like I tore something, or
Mm,
I kind of pulled myself out of the game, and was like, "Yeah, I'm my arm hurts."
yeah, that sounds painful. Sorry to hear that. Did you ever get any MRIs done or see any surgeons or doctors about your issue?
I actually never did any scans or anything. I did go to a GP just to see kind of what he recommended, and he figured it was tendonitis, and just kind of said there's nothing really you can do. You just have to kind of ice it and kind of wait for it to heal itself, kind of deal.
Mm. Have you had physical therapy before for your shoulder then too, or no?
Not that I can remember. Um, for other body parts, yes, but I
Oh,
don't think.
okay. So what have you had physical therapy for? Did you have like a knee or ankle or something, or
Yeah, it was a knee injury. It was a torn ACL.
how long ago was that?
That was in the fall of. It was end of fall, start of winter, 2013.
So it's been like 7 years then.
Yeah,
Gotcha. And how did the recovery process go for that?
it's been really good. Um, it's recovered quite well. I still say I'm limited in the things I can do. As far as um, really hard movements, or if I really put a lot of effort into running or things like that, sometimes it gives me grief. But
Yeah. So I'm assuming obviously you're here for your shoulder, and we'll make sure we're working on your shoulder. But if we had a few things you could do for your knee as well, is that something you'd be interested in?
absolutely, yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll make sure to look into that and try and help you as much as we can with whatever we can, right? Um,
Hmm.
so on your screening, you didn't mention any medications you're taking currently. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever taken medication in the past for those injuries? Like, did you just take ibuprofen or something like that?
Yeah, just ibuprofen mainly.
Gotcha. Ibuprofen and other painkillers are sometimes our best friends, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, they're nice.
Yeah. um, I also noticed on your screening you mentioned that you've got family history with diabetes, stroke, and high blood pressure. Would you mind sharing some more information about that with me?
Yeah. So my father has high blood pressure, amongst many other things.
Hmm.
He also suffered a stroke a few years ago. I know he's on the verge of being diabetic too.
Hmm.
I have a younger sister who's been about a year now since she was diagnosed with diabetes, type 1, I believe.
Hmm. Gotcha. So you haven't had issues yourself with these things personally, though.
No.
Okay. You did mention on your screening that you've had a history of asthma and headaches. Is that
Hmm.
something that still bugs you like currently, or is that just more of a thing in the past?
The asthma was more when I was a child. I haven't had problems with that for more than 10 years. It's been a long time. Headaches. I still get migraines occasionally,
Mm,
and that started in about I think the 10th grade. But yeah, not so frequent. If I were to guess, I would say 3 or 4 times a year I get them.
gotcha.
And I used to be on a prescription for them, and since it ran out, I just haven't got it refilled because I feel like I don't need it. And when I do feel a migraine come on, I just get an extra strength Tylenol and throw it in, or
Hmm.
get some caffeine. That usually helps.
Yeah, no, I get that. That makes sense. Good to know. Thanks for sharing that with me. You also mentioned how you don't consume tobacco or alcohol, which is obviously good for recovery process and stuff. You did mention that you have trouble throwing a baseball, playing tennis, like certain gym workouts like a bench press and stuff like that.
Yeah. No, I can't go to the gym now because it's closed because of COVID. But before
Mm,
it closed, I would go frequently and do exercises, the bench, and other things. So
gotcha. So would you say that's kind of a goal you have to get out of physical therapy is you want to be able to get back to throwing a baseball, playing tennis and doing those gym workouts without having shoulder pain?
exactly, yeah.
Okay.
Because when I try to do the throwing and the tennis, it's more so than in the gym.
Mm,
But yeah, usually, no matter if I stretch or do things, no matter what I do to usually prepare for baseball or tennis, I usually still am pretty achy and it still hurts quite a bit,
gotcha.
despite what I try to do to mitigate that. So,
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, that's exactly what I'm here for. I'm going to make sure that we do all that we can to try and help make the pain go away and also help strengthen you up to try and keep the pain away. Um, and I'm glad you're here, and we're going to do all we can to help you with that. Um, just a few more questions I have for you, just to make sure that I have a clear picture of everything. So, do you have like problems because of your shoulder, like reaching things on the top shelf or lifting heavy objects in your home?
not usually, no.
Okay. If you were to get injured or hurt further at your house, like do you have good family support nearby who could help you out if you need it?
Yes, I have a wife, so she could definitely help out, and my parents live close too. If, excuse me, if they needed to help.
Gotcha. You said you're married. Do you have any kids?
Just one little kid, yep.
One little kid. Do you ever have issues lifting him up or carrying him around because of your shoulder or no?
No,
Gotcha. You're obviously like able to do your things every day that you need to do, but it's more the extracurriculars you're trying to get back to.
exactly, yeah.
Gotcha. So, some just last few questions I have for you. Does the pain in your shoulder move or radiate to other parts of like your arm or your chest, or does it just usually stay in that same spot?
Usually just stays in my shoulder. I think most of the pain occurs kind of by the back of my shoulder and my shoulder blade, and sometimes it's in the front, kind of towards my biceps and things.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah,
just kind of all around right in here, you'd say, like kind of front and then back up where your scapula is.
yeah.
Okay. Um, you mentioned your knee a little bit. Do you have pain there at all, even though you already had surgery and rehab for that?
Sometimes it'll ache, and I don't know why. Like I usually stay away from activities or things that will potentially tweak it again.
Hmm.
But sometimes or some days out of the blue, it'll just ache for a few hours, and it really, really hurts.
Yeah.
And I don't have like any rods or like nothing, like no metal or anything in my legs either.
Hmm.
I know sometimes that causes irritation or things, but yeah, not as stable as I'd like it to be.
Like as far as having a goal, you want to relieve the pain from the tendonitis in your shoulder and you want to return to playing baseball, tennis, working out, etc. But another goal could be trying to get back to some of those activities that you said you don't do because you're scared of hurting your knee. Um,
Yeah, like
so,
playing pickup basketball kind of thing.
gotcha.
I I love to go play, and I have once in a while, but I just kind of walk up and down the court like I don't really, you know, because there's so many side to side motions and different things, different ways to move in basketball that I'm just scared. Because I have tweaked it since it healed. and since I've finished the rehab, I have a couple times kind of gone to play, and I've run and tried to do things like jab steps or whatever, and
Yeah.
I I have tweaked it before, and it has kind of like clicked or popped, and I was like, whoa, and that's
Yeah.
kind of when I all right, like I thought I had torn it again one time actually, and I didn't,
Mm.
but it kind of felt the same, and I was like, oh boy, this is not good.
Yeah.
So
No,
that's
that,
kind of when I
that
started to slow down and
mhm.
take it easy.
That sounds really scary.
Yeah,
No, I'll definitely look into throwing in some knee stretching and strengthening exercises with your program, to try and help you get from that 99% to maybe up to 100 or even more than 100. So, um,
we
yeah, we'll do what we can there, to try and help you out. Um, is there anything you have not mentioned to me that you think I should know?
I don't think so. I think that's all.
Good. Yeah, I don't have any more questions for you. Um, just to kind of summarize kind of what we talked about, it sounds like you do have some family history of people who suffer from some chronic illnesses, but you don't really suffer from those. You seem like you're a pretty healthy individual overall. Um, no problems with asthma or headaches, not as much as at least when you were younger. Um, you've had your ACL surgery done. You rehabbed that, and you have good family support nearby. And kind of the main goals we're looking at is just relieving pain and then getting back to some of those more extracurricular activities, whether it's because of your shoulder or your knee. Does that sound about right?
Yes.
Awesome. Well, thanks for meeting with me. I'm gonna take some of this information and create an exercise program for you and some stretches for you, and we'll go from there.
Awesome. Thank you, Derek.
Thanks, Dawson. Have a good one.
You too.
Bye.